Looking deep into the universe is like taking a trip down memory lane. The farther from Earth we look, the farther back in time we see. The farther back in time we see.
Always the painted, the mysterious, the macabre, the maddening.
Mad Wolf himself.
Zachary Martinkus.
What is up, everybody? I hope you're all having a good weekend, because the both of us are, and I'm thankful, Kenny, that you are getting better. And what a historic day, for crying out loud. Episode 50. Tomorrow, this marks our 1 year.
Actually, next Wednesday, the 18th, will mark the official 1 year point from when we first started the Wrestling Connection.
Oh, really? No,
Yeah,
I thought it was on February.
No,
No, it was on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, first episode was actually it was February 8th. It was February 18th.
Mm-hmm.
I did a special on the St. Valentine's Day massacre between Stone Cold Steve Austin and Vincent Kennedy McMahon. I remember. So next Wednesday will officially be our 1 year point, but still it is the big 50, the silver anniversary, and we are silvery. We are shining, and supposedly Brian and Greg have this like big surprise that they want to drop on us at some point.
Yeah, we got something for you guys.
Oh, God.
Oh, please tell me it's right now.
So, a band from Boston, they're called Look Sharp. They made a song about the Royal Rumble for our show, for you guys.
Oh.
So we're going to play that now.
Is it PG?
Oh, boy.
It's PG enough.
Okay.
Oh,
It's PG enough.
Great.
Oh, joy.
All right, bring it on us.
Let's go.
Vince never meant to cause you any sorrow. Vince never meant to cause you any pain. He only wanted one time to see you clapping. Only wants to see you clapping. Cheer for Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns, Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns, Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns, Roman Reigns. Don't want you as champion. I'm sorry, Roman Reigns. I never wanted to see you win the Royal Rumble. Smarks know Daniel Bryan should have won. Roman, I could see you with the U.S. title. But headlining WrestleMania, we all think that's so lame. Roman Reigns, Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns, Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns, Roman Reigns. Don't want you as champion. I'm sorry, Roman Reigns. And Roman, I know you still won the Royal Rumble. we all just wanna see something new, and that's just not true. Vince claims no one goes for the brass rings. I think he'll be changing his mind. After Fastlane, when Daniel Bryan takes out Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns, Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns, Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns, Roman Reigns. I don't want you as champion. I'm sorry, Roman Reigns. Just kidding, Roman. You know we love you.
Well, first of all, thanks tons to look sharp. Good song. I like the pink subtitles in to keep the whole Valentine's Day theme coming up. But I want to give a shout out to my lovely girlfriend Angela.
Yep.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Yep.
I
have no words for that. Just the start of it up to the end. I had nothing to say. Usually I'm opinionated when it comes to this. I got nothing.
You gotta give him something, you know?
all
I can say is, what the heck? Come on.
It sums up how I pretty much feel. The guy's not ready for WrestleMania. I mean, he's been coddled. He's been given lackadaisical promo after lackadaisical promo. Supposedly Vince has pretty much been spoon feeding him all his lines. And the thing is, he's had this on-again, off-again feud with Rusev, of all people, the last couple months. That's gone nowhere. They've had about 4 or 5 one-on-one matches, no finish in any of them, no pinfall or submission finish. There's no finite conclusion between them. To have them face off at WrestleMania for the U.S. title would make a lot more sense. The problem, because here now you have Roman Reigns pretty much scooping Kane and Big Show out to win the Royal Rumble instead of dominating, instead of coming out and eliminating 9 guys, storming the battlefield and dominating like he did last year.
Right.
Instead, he comes out, tosses out 2 guys, and then pretty much spends the next 5-6 minutes just finding a nice corner sit in while Big Show and Kane come out and pretty much mop everyone else out. So that's my problem. The other
I feel like Zach doesn't agree with you.
I don't.
Why not?
I just think the guy, I'm just saying though, the guy actually did put a lot of effort, into the Royal Rumble. Dude, I mean, he did win it fair and square.
He won it. I'm not saying he didn't win it fair and square, and I'm not taking it against Roman Reigns himself. Like I said, the guy has not been put in a very enviable position as far as fan reaction, as far as crowd reaction goes. He has not been put in a good position. He wasn't in a good position when he returned. He was in a great position right before he got injured. We've discussed this for weeks now.
Yeah.
He was in a good position around early last year at Money in the Bank, when the crowd was absolutely molten for him. They were hot for him. They wanted to see him succeed. Even if you had a 1 or 2 month reign with him as WWE World Champion, just to test the waters. If the crowd loved him, then go for it. Pull the trigger and go for a more long-term program that culminates in him winning the WWE World Championship from someone like Cena or Brock Lesnar.
Right.
The problem is, he got a hernia injury. He hit a snag. He got a flat tire. He had to take time off the road. And the problem is, ever since he's come back, his promos, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Suffering succotash.
Yeah.
Seriously? And it's widely acknowledged that Vince has the say-so, has the final say-so on character scripts.
Right.
And it's been reported. I mean, it's been widely reported throughout the internet, throughout wrestling news, that he's the one personally giving Roman Reigns these lines. So I don't know if he's trying to sabotage him. I don't know if he's trying to make him more, trying to get him more in connection with the kids. But the problem is, it's not working. It's causing even more of a backlash. And supposedly the plan was, from last year, that Reigns was going to be winning the Royal Rumble. That he was going to be facing the WWE World Champion.
Which I think he should have.
Which he should have. But the problem is, the moment he got injured, the moment he had the hernia injury, the moment he had to take time off, they should have started on a different program. They should have started bringing up someone else. They should maybe John Cena, maybe Daniel Bryan when eventually he made his return, or Dean Ambrose or Seth Rollins. Start building up someone else that is just as credible, that has the ability to carry WWE on their shoulders.
Right.
And you had that in Seth Rollins. You even had that in Dean Ambrose.
True. I mean,
you still
they
had
call him the lunatic fringe for nothing.
You still had that in John Cena. You still had a bunch of viable talents that you could have put on your shoulders towards Royal Rumble and towards WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. But the problem is, they were just waiting for Roman Reigns to come back. The problem is, when he came back, he's not ready.
Yeah.
The guy's not ready for a WrestleMania main event. And that's why the last couple of weeks they've been reshuffling around, because supposedly internet rumors abound that there was going to be some match, there was going to be some feud brought up between Dolph Ziggler and Daniel Bryan. But the problem is that never manifested, because now we're just getting Daniel Bryan going up against Roman Reigns. And again, it makes sense. It makes sense. Daniel Bryan never got his one-on-one rematch for the WWE World Championship.
Right.
Roman Reigns is the Royal Rumble winner. Mm-hmm. I think
Daniel Bryan's probably a little bit too small.
Well, people have always said that about him. Okay, but again, look at this. John Cena's a big dude too. He's a big dude, and Bryan beat him clean in 2013.
Yeah.
So I really don't think size.
You can't really hold up. You look at Roman Reigns' physique, and then you look at Daniel Bryan's, and it's night and day.
Yeah, but again, Bryan brought up this point. He may not be big. He may not have the power. He may not have the strength of Roman Reigns. He's a better wrestler. He can wrestle circles around Roman Reigns. This is why I was talking about how I think Seth Rollins would be a more viable opponent for someone like Lesnar, because Lesnar can steamroll through big guys. I mean, we see what he did to Big Show at 2014 Royal Rumble. Mm-hmm. We saw what he did to Undertaker. We saw what he did to John Cena.
Don't forget Mark Henry.
Mark Henry. All these big, powerful guys, Lesnar just went through them like a knife through butter.
Yep.
It takes someone with a bit more technicality, with more wrestling ability and more know-how to counter Lesnar's power. I mean, take Punk at SummerSlam 2013 going up against Lesnar. Most realistically, yeah, Lesnar kicks Punk's ass. But within the realm of professional wrestling, Punk came within a GTS of beating Brock Lesnar, if not for Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
So I stand by my point. If you have viable, if you are viable, if you have great technical and great wrestling skill like a CM Punk or a Daniel Bryan, you have a chance against someone even as dominant as Brock Lesnar.
Well, if you're talking about that though, if you look at Kurt Angle, years ago though, yeah, he was one of the best technical wrestlers at that time. He still got beat for the title, and I don't know.
Well, again, you also take into account as an Iron Man match. You also have to take into account the fact that.
Actually, I was talking about WrestleMania.
Oh, WrestleMania. Yeah, WrestleMania. Okay. Again, yeah, and that was also taking the fact that Lesnar pretty much nearly concussed himself with a shooting star press halfway across the ring.
Which I'm still surprised that guy was able to even do that. A heavyweight like that guy was able to do that. That's nuts. And mind you, everybody, that's one of the most dangerous moves for Pete's sake.
Right. But okay, getting back to what we were talking about. Daniel Bryan versus Roman Reigns at Fastlane. That's been the talk for the last couple of weeks. That's essentially the main event we're looking at for WWE Fastlane.
Right.
Is Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan. Whoever wins goes on to face Brock Lesnar for the WWE World Championship. Now, Now, I'm not doubting Roman Reigns' power. I'm not doubting he couldn't go through Daniel Bryan. Mm-hmm. But the problem I have with this is, would Roman Reigns truly be ready for a one-on-one scenario with someone as experienced as Brock Lesnar? Because here's the problem. Not only does Brock Lesnar have the power, he has the technical skill. He has the NCAA. He has the UFC background. All Roman has going for him is his Samoan heritage and a football background. That's it.
Yeah,
he has really nice hair, though, too. Let's give him credit for that.
Of course, we can't forget about the hair.
Oh, yeah, he's so fabulous.
Yeah, Fabio Reigns. The point is, even though Daniel Bryan is smaller, he has the technical know-how to at least keep up with Brock Lesnar. You can't say the same for Roman Reigns. He doesn't have the wrestling acumen that either Bryan, Lesnar, Angle, Punk, or even his cohorts, Ambrose and Rollins have. They all have indie experience. They all have experience in the ring for years. He doesn't have that. He came into NXT after football. Okay, he didn't have the wrestling background that his former Shield cohorts, Ambrose and Rollins did. That's the big crux of the issue here that I have. That's why I don't feel like he's ready. If he had some more seasoning, if he had some more mid-card feuds with the likes of Rusev, I would, maybe in a year or so, I would believe he would be a viable contender for the WWE World Championship. As he is now, I don't see it.
Well, maybe Fastlane, this is the test.
Hey, guys, we actually have a guest who wants to ask a question. If do you mind taking it?
Of course.
Yeah, go ahead.
Of course, go right ahead.
All right, you guys, I don't mean no disrespect, none at all, but I gotta ask, is it fixed?
Is wrestling fixed? Yeah, wrestling, professional wrestling has always been fixed. There's always been a story. There's always been a storyline set in place. There's always been a determined winner at the end of a storyline. Okay, you have a winner, you have a loser. That's the way it goes.
Yeah, but to certain degrees, though, majority of the points, though, it is fixed. But some of the injuries, they really aren't. Like,
no, the injuries are real. The risks are real.
Yeah.
All right. That's why they have. That's why they have to rehearse. That's why you have to rehearse. You have to practice professional wrestling. You have to practice the moves again and again and again.
Right.
You guys answered that question really pretty good. I read someplace that professional wrestling is the highest paid professional sport. Is that true?
Highest paid professional sports?
Wow, that's.
Well, no. I would say NFL players get paid.
Yeah, at the very least, NFL
players get paid a ton.
Yeah, definitely. Those guys get paid more than wrestlers do.
We're talking like NFL get paid like tens of millions.
So if I was a pro wrestler, like an average pro wrestler, how much do you think I'd get paid?
Oof.
I mean, you're the one going to professional wrestling. This is
not a whole lot, to be honest. Not a whole lot. I think probably if I had to guess, depending on whether if you win the match, you might get a little bit more money, but you lose, you don't get that much. So it's tough to say depending on what indie or professional industry you're going into, and really seeing like what kind of like big bucks they might be making. So it's.
I'll tell you something about that making the money. If you're filling up a stadium and you're selling advertising on a television show, there's a lot of money flowing in.
No, true.
You got a manager who's taking it all. Well, there's that, but there's a lot of money flowing in.
Oh no, not down that at all.
There's obviously there's revenue, there's ticket sales, there's merchandise. There's obviously, of course, royalties. Not to mention DVD sales and video sales. So obviously there's a lot that, the superstars are making a lot. There's no doubt. Hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars. There's no doubt about that. But
I think it also bases upon your popularity. If the fans really love, if they go nuts over you, like for John Cena, They'll love him, they'll hate him. They still go nuts over him.
And
he gets the big money.
He's still the top merchandise seller in like the last 3-4 years.
Exactly. So
longer than that.
Yeah. So it really depends on popularity. I mean, there's a whole formula to that. Like Kenny just said, there's a whole formula to that, though, that you really have to really think. Just from all that, that's how much money you probably would be getting. So.
Right. Okay. So. I mean, when we talk about WWE, when we coming through WWE, obviously we think about NXT. We think about NXT.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in recent months, NXT has put on some fantastic shows, and particularly with their live takeover specials.
Mm-hmm.
And this past Wednesday, with their NXT Takeover Rival special.
Oh yeah.
There's no change. The NXT gravy train's just been rolling here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we had several fantastic matches. We one highlight was the number one contenders match for the NXT World Championship.
Yep.
With recent NXT entry Finn Balor going up against former longtime reigning NXT champion Adrian Neville. Now, these two, if you remember Finn Balor during his indie days as Prince Devitt, this guy can fly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I liked how the commentary played up throughout this entire match. Pretty much whichever man made it to the top rope, was going to be the victor. Whoever made it to the top rope first, whoever got their air game going first, was going to be the big time winner, and that turned out to be Balor. I mean, his repertoire is lethal. I mean, the dives, the flips, the shot. I mean, his ring entrance alone. His ring entrances are the stuff of legend. I mean, you see this. You see this is Balor. This isn't a different superstar. This is all Finn Balor right here. I mean, he's right up there with Undertaker. He has you psyched out even before, like, by the time he gets to the ring, you're like, what the heck am I facing tonight?
Yeah, I honestly, this dude looks like he ought to be like the brother of Kane and Undertaker, for crying out loud.
Yeah, he looks like a cross between Venom and. Will you get Taven off, Greg?
No one gives a crap about that dude. Thank you,
Greg.
This
either
dude we
get
care
Taven
about.
on the air or quit putting his picture up. There you go.
Okay,
there's my.
This
ultimate.
guy right here. Yeah.
This guy right here. Now, oh god, you have to his shotgun drop kick into the corner. It is nasty.
Whoa.
Like, it is literally like being launched out again. I saw his match with his quarterfinal match with Hideo Itami.
Mm-hmm.
The way Itami hit the turnbuckle after being hit with that drop kick, it was like watching a car crash. You should just see the whiplash of Itami's neck when Balor drop kicked him, and he was all the more vicious against.
Oh.
He was all the more vicious against Neville right here. It was back and forth. Both men putting up fantastic aerial assault on display. Several near falls. Eventually, Balor would get the victory with the coup de grace, that big top rope double foot stomp, and claim the number one contendership for his own. Now, that was not the only highlight, obviously, from NXT. Another highlight of NXT is, of course, the women's division.
Yep.
I say women's division.
Yeah.
Not divas, not little 3-minute multi-woman matches.
No.
Where they're just out
Women's.
Women's matches.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the ever-excitable Bayley. I like her wacky waving inflatable arm tube, man.
Oh God, yeah. You might as well just cue Emma's theme while you're at it.
Yeah, we also have
Charlotte.
The nature girl Charlotte, one of the longest reigning NXT Women's champions of all time.
Yep.
Yeah, you had the boss Sasha Banks. Yeah, you had Becky Lynch, who found herself in the women's NXT women's title situation, and now the problem with most fatal 4-ways is that they tend to get a little disorganized. Like, there's no real fluidity, there's no real chemistry to it. Usually it's just like two people in the ring two competitors in the ring at one time. They go out, two others come in, and they cycle them in and out. But you didn't really see that. It was like I said, it was a solid affair. You had several close finishes. You had Bayley coming in a couple of times, closing in with an impressive belly to Bayley from the second rope.
Wow.
You had Charlotte diving over the rope, taking out all three of her contenders for the Divas for the women's championship. But eventually, it would be Sasha Banks cinching in the Banks statement submission on Charlotte, wrenching it back as far as she could, but then when she couldn't get it to tap out, pulls it back even more, rolls her up in a crucifix, and gets the 3 count, finally overcoming Charlotte and winning her first NXT Women's Championship.
Wow.
So I mean, this works out great for everyone. Charlotte goes out looking strong.
Mm-hmm.
Sasha Banks finally we have a new heel champion and Sasha Banks.
Mm-hmm.
Bayley can keep pursuing the NXT Women's Championship.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone comes out a winner here, and this was an excellent women's match. It was fluid, it was crisp, it had great chemistry. I liked it. What I like about NXT also is the commentary. The commentary is on top every single time.
Yeah.
They're not talking about some unrelated storyline. They're not cracking jokes.
Mm-hmm.
They're focusing on the matches. They're focusing on the characters, on the build-up, where they come from, where they are in the match, how they got there. I like the story they tell for each and every match.
And then we come to the main event.
Then we come to the big main event.
A very serious one, specifically against two former friends throughout. I think it was a 12-year history.
A 12-year friendship. They came up through the Indies. They came up through They trained in Canada together. They trained all over the world. Made big names for themselves. And it was remarkable that Sammy was the first to get his feet wet here at NXT,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a while before we saw Kevin Owens.
Mm-hmm.
And when Sammy finally accomplished his goal of winning the NXT title, here comes Owens, who had just made his debut a couple months ago at the last Takeover special,
Mm-hmm.
and we thought they had buried the hatchet. We thought everything was all well and good.
Yeah, they shook hands. The guy raised his arm.
And they're walking off into the sunset, only for Owens to steamroll him out of nowhere and hit a big time power bomb onto the ring apron. Now, of course, and throughout the last couple months, we hear like vignettes. We hear videos between the two. Like Zayn said, "Oh, you know what? Given our history together, I should have seen it coming. The history between the two of them." Owens is just in it for the money. He's just in it for the money. He's in it for the championship. He loves to fight. He'll fight anyone and everyone, even his best friend.
Right, and it's just like, wow.
And he said himself, he's a prize fighter. He goes for the goal. He fights to be rewarded.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't consider just fighting someone like Zayn in a non-title grudge match reward. He would not wrestle Zayn until the title was on the line, and Zayn would not wrestle anyone else until he got his hands on Owens.
What you could tell right there and there, the match was going to be all-out war.
Yeah, General Manager William Regal had his hands tied. Didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
So the match was made for NXT Takeover Rival, and this was actually right up there. Many people said this was right up there with Lesnar Cena from SummerSlam.
Wow.
Owens dominated this match. He dominated. I mean, he like I said, he just dominated Zayn from pillar to post. Zayn had his moments. There are times we feel like Zayn could pull it out. He would not quit. Didn't matter how many times Owens powerbombed him, slammed him into the ground. He would not stop. I mean, he got powerbombed like 4 or 5 times before the ref finally had to call the bell. And by ref's decision, rewarded Kevin Owens with the NXT Championship. He's only in his second match in NXT.
Wow.
Well, actually, no. Technically, his third match in NXT. He's the new NXT champion.
Jeez. I mean, you can't ask like for a better. You can't ask for a more war than this.
A more barbaric victory than that. So just look at that image. That image tells you everything you need to know. Like I said, there's a reason they ranked that right up there with Lesnar and Cena. That was about as brutal and barbaric a victory as you could have asked for.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it.
And I gotta say this for Finn Balor and any other future contenders, beware.
Yeah, I think this guy. I think it's pretty much safe to say Kevin Owens. He's basically ready for a war with anyone.
He'll fight.
Roman Reigns may say he's won against all. I'm sorry, dude. I'm gonna disagree with you on that. This guy is basically a one-man war zone.
Yeah, exactly. KO doesn't just stand. There's a reason he has KO. It doesn't just stand for Kevin Owens.
Yeah, basically he'll knock you out. Whew.
All right. Now that is all for our show this week, ladies and gentlemen. Mm-hmm. We're gonna be wrapping things up. If you'd like to comment on our show, be sure to reach us at wrestlingconnection@gmail.com. If you have any comments or ideas for the show, if you have any questions you'd like to ask, like our lovely guest our lovely uninvited guest.
Yep.
You can check out our Facebook page, facebook.com/thewrestlingconnection. We are currently in the midst of constructing a hub page where you can check out all of our updated videos and related clips.
Yep.
And our Twitter at WConnection as well. Mm-hmm. If you want to watch a snark about Monday Night Raw and Thursday Night SmackDown.
Yep.
All right. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, we bid you adieu. Mm-hmm. And remember, as always, to
be connected, get connected, stay connected.
Yeah, have a good night, ladies and gentlemen, and drive safe.
Mm-hmm. Man, usually this is the cue where we have our one particular song going on. I knew it! You can't end the show without this. Oh, crap.
It's gonna have to sing, I think.
Usually we sing along with this, so it's kind of... Sorry, folks. We forgot the lyrics to the stinking song. Sorry! You have a good night, folks! Woo! Yeah!